Welcome back to the channel, guys. Wanted to show you a couple things that I've worked on with a player in the last week or so, but remember that this might not apply to you because I don't really know anything about your swing, how you move. If this does apply to you or the ideas or concepts apply to you, that's great. If not, just the understanding that, finding what is the most important for you to change, to improve, to help your game get better, that's the key to this, okay? So for this player I had come in, tendency was some heavy shots, so they were having a tough time hitting it solid. So when we went through, we did a little assessment, understand they're moving a little bit better, some of their physical gifts and limitations. So one thing we found was when we looked at the wrist, when we're going into radial deviation here, radial deviation and wrist extension, and a little bit of pronation, the wrist, when it went up, super limited in the left wrist. So for this person, because their wrist didn't like to go this direction, when they would go back, they were trying to sort of hinge their wrist. That's what they pictured they needed to do, because most of the time their wrists look like this, okay, because it wasn't comfortable for them to sort of load their wrist. And then when they come down, as they would start down, their hands would sort of come close to their body, and then the club would throw out, and then they'd have to use their upper body to try to find the ball, okay? So there was a lot of reactions happening because of the lack of range of motion in the lead wrist, okay? So for this player, what we did was we found the right cueing for them for the backswing, okay? So instead of them feeling like they were setting their wrists a lot, because right when they got to that point, it started to hurt their wrist, so they would instantly get rid of that. We started taking it back, sort of letting the lead arm bend a little bit, letting the wrist be a little bit less hinged. And then as they come down, as they started to sort of extend their arms, it actually loaded their wrists a lot more efficiently in a safe way, not with pain. And then that led them to not have to lean so much in the downswing. It actually let them start to swing the club. So the drill we did was when they went back, instead of setting the wrist a lot, not much wrist set, but let the arms bend. And as they come down, letting the arms extend versus wrist set and then throwing the club to try to get power, and then that led the head to moving, okay? So they went up, sort of soft hands, not a lot of wrist, and then when they come down, they started to extend their arms through the shot, okay? So you can see when I extend my arms through the shot, very easy to compress it. Obviously, if I have too much wrist and I get forward, you're gonna see a lot of bending typically in both arms coming into impact, causing it tough to repeat that low point and making it a little bit harder to be successful when you're out there playing. Again, this is just for one player that I helped. Really important to know what works for you, sort of when we're looking at like the understanding of how you picture your swing, your gifts and your limitations, and then you actually doing the drills to help you get better. That's what I'm focused on. I'm trying to help people get better at this great game. If you need any more help for your game, make sure you check the description below to figure out how to get direct feedback for you. Thanks for watching, guys.